factors in language. Language has been defined by many scholars so far. From the perspective of linguistics, language is a system of arbitrary vocal symbols which permit all people in a given culture or other people who have learned the system of that culture to communicate or to interact. Definition of affect, which is an important issue under the heading of psycholinguistics, consists of three aspects: language shock and culture shock, anxiety and affective filter. Language shock refers to the realization that a learner must seem comical to speakers of the target language, while culture shock, which was firstly proposed by Orberg, 1960. In the early 1960s, is the personal disorientation a person may feel when experiencing an unfamiliar way of life or exposure to a new culture. For the language, anxiety is the feeling of uneasiness, worry, nervousness, and apprehension experienced by non-native speakers when learning using a second or a foreign language. Anxiety is not always a negative factor in learning. Social aspect of using a second language cannot be ignored since second language learning involves the acquisition of a second identity. In this process, socialization may occur. Socialization is the cognitive and affective proximity of two cultures that come in contact within an individual. Dyson is used metaphorical to denote this similarity between two cultures. Some learners may feel distant against the target culture in the process of second language learning. The notion of age difference is another dimension discussed under the headline of psycholinguistics. It is possible to get different views and studies about the influence of age on the language learning or acquisition process. In my opinion, more younger age, more easy to learn a second language learning because their stimulus or the cognitive while active to work. Number 3, aptitude. Language aptitude refers to natural proficiency or ability which has by individuals while learning foreign language. It describes a tendency of potential person in elaborate and performance language learning. In other words, it can describe by several stages of proficiency, such as beginner, medium, and professional. Therefore, many terms created to suitable for those characteristic profiles. As the beginner, not always as a primary student, but it's the stage for learners in their basic. It's a stake for learners in acquisition the words, simple words, or simple vocabulary. Medium. In medium, the learners have to know the rules of the grammar, some part of vocabulary, but the learners have keep obstacle to rearrange what the words, what they have to say. Last, professional. In professional stage, learners nothing obstacle in learners. They know almost the vocabulary, they know the rules of grammar, they know how to rearrange the sentence, they know how to say it, what are they think. Motivation refers to enthusiasm to do something and the purpose of what we want to reach. In the language learning, motivation is the key concept for learners to make a goal by a self-internal process which leads, control, and focus on the main purpose. In other words, motivation gives strength, energy to setting the minds It can encourage by inspiring self to become the ideal second language, or by following standardized course interval. Many ways do by people to become motivated. Suggestion or change behavior. Personality and learning styles. Personality refers to long-standing traits and patterns that encourage people to think, feel, and act consistently in certain way. Our character is what makes us unique. Each person has a unique pattern of permanent and long-term traits and a way of interacting with other people and the world around them. Learning style is a term commonly used to describe natural or habitual pattern of acquiring and processing information in a learning context. There are 4 aspects in personality and learning style. First is extroversion or introversion. By the means it refers to the characteristic of the learners. In extroversion, they can easy to express what they feeling and telling out with the words. Introversion is the character refers to not easy people to telling what they feeling, what they want to say. They keep in their head a characteristic who wants to challenge their self. More bigger the challenge their self, they can more deep their afraid or their anxiety, abandoned or dependent. It refers to learning style, what fix, what comfortable with the learners. Some learners can learn in independent way, and some learners need to direction from the teacher or a coaching. Visual, auditory, or kinesthetic. Beberapa orang yang mempunyai masalah dalam hal penglihatannya atau pendengarannya pasti memiliki hambatan dalam hal mempelajari sesuatu, khususnya dalam mempelajari second language, yang dimana adalah bahasa kedua dari bahasa ibu. Dan yang dimana mereka lebih memerlukan beberapa bantuan atau alat bantu dalam mempelajari bahasa. Ini berhubungan mungkin dengan anak-anak yang mengalami apasia atau another disorder. I think it's enough for my final test. Thank you for watching and for listening my final test.